Step back with me for a moment into a tiny corner shop in 1974, where the bell above the door gave a cheerful ring the second you walked in. You can almost hear it now, along with the soft jingle of a single 50p coin resting in your pocket. That coin felt powerful, almost grown-up, as if it carried an entire afternoon of possibilities. And in many ways, it did. Today, 50p might slip through our fingers without notice. But back then, it opened a world of treats, choices, and simple joys. Little did we know how far it could truly stretch. Walk down any British high street in 1974, and you'd find a world moving at a gentler pace, yet somehow full of life. Corner shops sat on nearly every street, their windows filled with handwritten price tags and neatly arranged goods that invited you in long before automatic doors existed. Families followed familiar routines from weekend errands to evening strolls, and children learned the value of money, one coin at a time. Pocket money wasn't spent lightly. It was saved, counted, and carried carefully on small journeys to the shop. With no digital distractions tugging at our attention, simple pleasures felt larger, brighter, and more rewarding. A single purchase could shape an entire day, and every choice felt meaningful. It was a time when the world felt both smaller and more connected, setting the perfect stage for understanding just how far one little coin could go. Stepping into a corner shop in 1974 felt like entering a small world of wonders. And that feeling began the moment the bell chimed above the door. Wooden counters lined the space, their surfaces worn smooth by years of friendly conversations, while rows of jars filled with colorful childhood novelty sweets sparkled like tiny treasures. Comics hung from simple pegs along the wall, their covers bright and tempting, promising adventures that could last long after you'd left the shop. The shopkeeper often knew every family by name, offering a nod or a warm greeting that made even the smallest visitor feel welcome. Holding a 50p coin in your hand gave a quiet sense of independence, a lovely certainty that you could choose something entirely your own. With that coin, the possibilities felt endless. A paper bag filled with childhood novelty sweets might be the first thing you reached for. The rustle of the bag almost as exciting as the treats themselves. You could pick up a comic to read on the bus ride home, losing yourself in stories that felt bigger than life. A warm bakery treat, carried carefully so it didn't crumble, added comfort on a cool day. And sometimes you'd save room in your budget for a small toy or a collectible card, the kind you'd proudly show friends later. Prices were low, choices were simple, and life's pace allowed each moment to feel fully lived. Today, 50p might sit unnoticed in a drawer, but back then, it felt powerful enough to shape an afternoon. Saturdays often revolved around that single coin. Children planned their routes with care, deciding whether to spend the full 50p at once or save part of it for something later. A few treats from the shop could set the tone for the day, while saving a portion meant reaching the arcade for a favorite game or covering a short bus ride with friends. A small match day snack, shared while chatting excitedly, made the experience even better. Yet the true value of the coin wasn't the items purchased, but the feeling that life offered endless little adventures. Those shared moments full of laughter and possibility linger far longer than anything you could hold in your hand. And as those afternoons slipped into memory, that little coin became more than spending power. It became a reminder of how simple joys shaped childhood in ways. What made that small coin so special wasn't simply what it bought, but what it stood for. 50 pence carried a quiet kind of freedom, the trust of being allowed to choose something on your own, and the responsibility of making it last. It opened the door to tiny adventures that felt wonderfully large. Many remember the jingle of coins in a pocket, or evenings spent counting them on the kitchen table, imagining what tomorrow might bring. Even the choice itself brought a thrill, proving that the smallest decisions could feel important. In many ways, that coin shaped far more than moments. Today, life moves faster, guided by screens and instant choices. Far from the slower rhythms of 1974, prices have changed, habits have shifted, yet the memories remain priceless. That little 50p didn't just buy treats, it bought moments of joy and freedom we still carry within us, even today and always. For more of these unbelievable memories, tap the video on your screen. The 1970s stories are something else. Don't forget to subscribe.